Okay. Hi guys, Chris here with Armattan Quads. It's been a while since I made a video like this now. One of the reasons why I need to make a video is because yesterday we released a new frame called the Bobcat, Armattan Bobcat, on Facebook and on YouTube. And I do worry that the message that I posted today on Facebook is something that will not reach the folks who've watched the video release on the Bobcat. And basically what happened is we got the whole website ready. Some people who work with us did most of the work, but I'm in charge of the product description and then setting a price. And then from there, when I'm ready, I just push a button on the platform that makes the product visible and available for purchase on the website basically. And that's what I did on release night yesterday, which was about 10 o'clock in the evening. Except I made a typo, made a mistake in the price. I bloody listed it at 59 bucks, which is not supposed to be 59 bucks. It was supposed to be $39. That's a major facepalm moment there. So we're sorry about that. Anyone who purchased the frame already now, all of you, thanks for your support, but you'll definitely receive a $20 refund for each frame you purchased. I do appreciate your support and wanting to pay $59 for the frame, but it's actually not $59. So I'm very sorry about this. So if you purchased a frame, you will receive a refund tomorrow, 20 bucks for each frame you purchased. Now that I've got you here, though, I thought maybe I should show you the Bobcat, make the video a bit longer now, and actually show you some things about it. And this is here a rooster here. The reason why I'm starting with this is because I want to look at the cage here. This cage was clearly built for the larger cameras that we were using basically a couple years ago. And not many people use them anymore now. Everything kind of went to the mini cam, and then there's also the micro cam, and then there's of course the HD solutions out there, which are also much smaller cameras. So if we go from this and then we go from this, then we can see that the Marmot here, this is actually a Badger, is kind of a newer generation of the cage at the front there. It's a new design, but it's also much narrower, and it will no longer fit the older, larger cams. It's meant to fit a mini cam, which Runcam made, Fox here made, Cadex, they made them. And so we see that there's a big difference in these two here. But one problem that I identified when I was analyzing these things is that when the camera is mounted here, right? So this is the back of the camera here, or actually a little bit behind that mounting hole here. You always end up having a lot of dead space at the back here. And to me, it feels like, well, it means we're making the cage bigger to accommodate for different provisions and different considerations, but we're still left with that, all that space behind the camera that's like kind of like dead space. And likewise on the Marmot, and maybe even a little bit more so due to the anchor design here, we end up with a lot of dead space here. And this is something that I wanted to address, to build something that was essentially smaller and less heavy. Now, it's no secrets that the long-range 4-inch frames have caught popularity on the market. We wanted to have a go at it, and that's when we came up with the Bobcat, and that's basically a new generation of cages now, which is extremely tiny. Right, as you can see now, that you can just about fit. If you take the bolts off, you'll be able to fit this cage into this cage. That's how tiny it is. This is for the Cadex Vista DJI, and with the Nebula we need a little spacer on each side, 0.5 millimeter nylon spacer, because it's 1 millimeter less in width from the Cadex. Of course, we've got the nice tilt mechanism here. This is a new design here. It started as an idea that I've had to do something that looks like this, or sort of looks like this. When I presented it to Jason, he kind of, I don't think he liked it, but I think I know why, because I had some critical errors in that. But he understood the concept of how we would mount this together. So he went to work and he came up with something that, with this, basically. I may have requested some changes to some of the parts, but the main mechanism, anchoring system, Jason came up with that. And I think it's brilliant because it's less screws to use, the least screws we've ever used in a tilt mechanism. So it's nice. Got the light grip foam on there, of course. Just peeling the little thingy off here now. It's pretty sticky. It's pretty much like some other product we see on the market that are trademarked or whatnot, or that have name brands. But it's only the surface. The core is just EVA foam. So it's much lighter than other, what you would call gel pads, right? From there, we redesigned the rear end. We've got an even stack on this from front to back, as opposed to being slanted on the tadpole. I really like the look of it on the tadpole, but on a logistic point of view, when it came time to build it, it did pose some problems in terms of stack height at the back end of the model. Let me have a sip of water here. From there, what else can I talk about? We talked about the cage sizes, the rear end. Oh yeah, I understand that when you look at this now, you're thinking, well, where am I going to mount this antenna? Where am I going to mount that antenna? And we've actually worked with two companies. Well, at least one, but I think they work together, or they help each other. Is Brain 3D and probably BNC 3D as well in the US, and they've had the files for this early on. And any day now, they're going to have a listing on their websites of all bunch of different prints for this. Now, we can't guarantee you that if you just go full-on 3D print now, that you're going to be sub 250 grams. Likewise, if you want to put a GoPro on there, a session on there, you're not going to be sub 250. Yeah, or you're going to struggle to be sub 250. So yeah, this is more designed essentially in mind for having an HD cam at the front, like through a Vista or yeah, Vista Nebula, something like this. It can obviously be built as analog as well, which you've got everything you need on this now to build it analog. But for some of the HD provisions, we'll have some, well, actually the prints are almost available in the US. And then we plan to have, hopefully now in the next week or two, we're going to be able to offer some of them that you will be able to be installed on your build when you buy this model, because at the moment we only sell the frame now. We wanted to, we had everything in hands. We wanted to release it, but we're not quite ready on the build part of it. We actually designed a new flight controller, which is mini size, like the CL Racing Mini, but it's a newer version that Chengling worked on for us, which has a barometer on it, which we think is better for, you know, going far basically, and maybe potentially needing to, you know, hit that return home switch if you have a GPS mounted. Another cool feature about this frame now is what I would say the anti-slop mounting arms. You can see. Excuse me. I won't laugh about it, but we've had a lot of complaints in the past. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but we had some very insistent pilots who were really, really concerned about having slop in their arms. It was a problem at one point on, what was it? Was the marmot? No, no, no. It was rooster. The rooster, yeah, it was the rooster, where if you ended up with too much slop in the arms, on 6 inch only, your tip of your prop would occasionally touch. But that would be after some crashes and after things getting loosened up. But I'm not going to get into the details of all this. But bottom line is we could have added a little bit more space there to avoid that. And more importantly, I think that we need something that's really bomb-proof on the arms. This is something that Jason didn't agree on. Actually, he thinks that given the size of this, 5 boats is overkill. And he might be right, especially when we're trying to cut weight and everything that's like that. But I just wanted to nail it on this, not have to worry about having a single complaint of someone saying my arm is moving. Or so it's sandwiched, and yeah, it's got that 5th bolt at the front there that keeps it tight. If you replace an arm, the 5th bolt does not need to be removed, just need to be loosened. What else do I got here? Oh yeah, dual arm config. This is basically now a pure X as it is now. Doesn't look like it because the arms are mounted front and back like this. But if you were to calculate the geometry of the arms, it's actually not a pure X, but it's just so ridiculously close to it that I call it a pure X, although it's not 100% pure X, just about. But for some folks who like more squished sort of design, like a lot of the Armattan frames are, we have options to mount the arms here, which then turns it into still a 4 inch, but that's yeah, it'd be like a compressed X or a shrunken X or whatever you want to call it. So I think this is something that's nice. We have a sip of water again here, guys. Now there's 2 types of CF being used on this model. First one is the cam braces and the top plate. That's basically our classic CF. And then the center plate and the arms now. By design, because we wanted to have two stacks in here, by design, and we wanted it small, that center plate here is narrow, so it's naturally bound to warp if you're not using a very rigid carbon fiber. And likewise with the arms, they're small, they're not thick, and we didn't want flex in there, and we did achieve this. Now the arms are ridiculously stiff, right? But frankly, this is not made for bandeau now. You know, we look at the arms thinking, man, these are going to break. Yeah, if you crash hard, they're going to break. There's no doubt about it. It's not meant for, again, it's not meant for trying to shoot gaps, and it's really meant for some nice cruising. It's not said that we're not going to make some arms for it that say would be beefier, or say make 3-inch arms down the road, things like that. But we wanted to make something light, that's stiff, that's got really nice flight characteristic, basically due to not having much bend to the frame. And I know that some people will say, yeah, but the more stiffer the carbon fiber is, the more likely it is to snap on impact. I won't disagree with that, but how was I going to respond to this? I won't disagree with that, but I basically, yeah, that's what I was going to say. The arms are so bloody small already now. I mean, you can't expect miracles with this. That's why we warranty everything from top, I guess, front to back, everything. The arms are not warranted, but they're sold super cheap. So, like for like $10, you'd get like 5 spare arms or something like that. See if I got anything on my list left here. I don't think so. That's about it. That's the Bobcat, guys. I apologize about the pricing glitch there on the release yesterday, and I figured that it would be nice for you guys to have a look of it at this in someone's hands now to get a feel for the size. And yeah, so here's the Marmot, for example, and here's the Bobcat. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you very much. Cheers.